Hello friends and welcome back. So in the previous session we have covered the interview questions and answers for the admin server, and in this session we are going to cover the questions and answers for the managed server. So we have a two kind of a servers in WebLogic, managed servers and the admin servers. So admin server we have learned the previous session, every domain will have only one admin server, which is a single point of failure as well you can say, and we have some alternate ways for configuring the high availability of admin server, and right, which we have learned in the previous session. What are the benefit of admin server, why we use it, what are the functionalities of admin server, everything we have covered. So now in this session we are going to cover the managed servers. Okay, so now the very first thing, what is managed servers in WebLogic? Okay, so what we have learned about the WebLogic server is a Java based application server. So we deploy the application in the WebLogic server so that the application will be accessible for the end users, right? So that means when we are saying that we are deploying the application on the WebLogic server, that means we have a certain kind of a location, or you can say some set of resources where we deploy the application. Okay, so we always deploy the applications on the managed server. So we have a two kind of a server in WebLogic server, admin server, and the second is managed server. Okay, so this admin server we have covered in detail in the previous sessions, where we learn about that this is a centralized management server where we have a admin console application is automatically deployed, which we can access from the browser, right, to manage the entire domain. Right, now managed server is the server where we actually deploy our applications. So this is the only thing that you have to keep in your mind. We always deploy the application servers in our managed servers. So you will get the application from the developers, like you will get a var file, you will get a EAR file. Okay, so when you are doing the deployment of this application using the admin console, okay, so we have to select a target where you want to deploy the application. Okay, so as a target we always select the managed server. Okay, so if you have only one managed server, then you can deploy application to your one managed server. If we have more than one managed server, which could be part of a cluster, okay, there could be two managed server or four managed server or five managed servers which is part of a cluster. So you can target the application to the cluster. So when you target the application to the cluster, it will automatically deploy to all the servers that you have, or you can say all the managed server that you have inside the cluster. Okay, so during the deployment, target is again a very important configuration where you want to target your application, and for each and our custom applications we always go with the targeting either to the cluster. If there is no cluster, then directly to the managed server. Okay, what is the difference between an admin server and managed server? So it's very straightforward, and it is, I think, very clear to you as well based on all the previous discussions. So admin server is specifically is a location or a centralized server where the admin console is deployed automatically, which we access from the browser for the management of our complete domain, right? And managed server where we deploy our applications, where we deploy our applications. So admin server is basically for the entire domain management, or you can say it is a domain administrative unit. However, managed servers is used for deployment of the application. So what we have learned about the admin server, each domain will have only one admin server. Okay, then how many managed servers we can create in a particular domain? There could be a question. Okay, so that I will explain in the next sessions. Okay, so how do you start and stop a particular managed server? So just like we learn about there is a ways to start and stop the admin server. Similarly, we have different ways to start and stop the managed servers. Very first thing, you can start from the admin console. Admin console. Okay. So once, sorry. So once you start your admin server, okay, then you access the admin console from the browser, right? And you log in with the username and password. And after that you get some options here, all the servers will be listed here. For example, if you have a 4 managed server in your domain, then you will have a certain sections where all the 4 server managed server will be listed. You click on each and every managed server, okay, and then you can start from the admin console. This is the first option. Second option, you can start from the using the scripts as well. Scripts, okay. So just like we have seen for the admin server, we have a start weblogic.sh. if you are in a Windows, that it will be .bat. Similarly, to stop your managed servers, we have a script called start managed weblogic.sh, and to stop managed weblogic.sh. So this script again will be inside your domain and bin folder. And what is the syntax for that? For example, you are going to start your manage server, which is with the name of ms1. So start manage weblogic.sh and then name of your manage server, which is ms1. And here you need to specify the URL of your admin server. For example, you can specify http colon double slash the IP address where the admin server is running colon the port of your admin server. So by this way, you can start the manage server with the help of command line as well. Third is you can start with the help of WLST as well. Okay, you can connect to the WLST with the help of WLST.sh command. Once connected, okay, so we have two ways here. Either first way, you can start directly by connecting to the admin server. Okay, so for that you can use the start server and then name of your server. So when you use start server command, it will connect to the admin server and it is going to start your manage server. Second way, you can start with the using the node manager as well. Okay, so for that you need to connect with the node manager with the help of nm connect, and then you can run the command nm start, and then we can provide the name of the server here. So this is the same process that we have seen for the admin server as well. Okay, so here to start the manage server, we have two ways specifically in the WLST. The first, directly contacting the admin server, and second, using the node manager. So these are the three ways we have to start or stop our manage server. What is the name of script and the syntax used to start the manage server? So this I have explained in the previous slide, right? This is the way, okay, to stop your manage servers. Can a manage server be started from the admin console if node manager is down? This is again a very important question. If your node manager is not running, you will not able to start your manage server from the admin console, right? So what is the very first option what I said to you, to start the manage server from the admin console, right? So if suppose that you log into the admin console, you go to the environment section and then you selected your manage server and you hit the start button. If your node manager is not running, then you will not able to start the manage server from the admin console. So that means if you want to start your manage server from the admin console, first you have to start your node manager. Start node manager.sh inside the bin folder. Start it and then you can able to start the manage server from the admin console. What is the boot.properties file and how does manage server use it to obtain the username and password? Okay, so this we have covered in detail in the admin server section as well. So this boot.properties file contains the username and password that your servers use during the startup of the server. Okay, so what we learn about the admin server, if you are in a production mode, then we need to create this file manually, right, inside the admin server folder, and then there will be a folder with the name of security. Inside that we manually create this file, which is automatically encrypted during the first start, right? Now when we start the manage server, okay, so for example, if you are starting the manage server from the admin console, okay, then you don't need to configure this file manually. There is no manual configuration is needed. The node manager will automatically take care of that, right? Because when we start the manage server from the admin console, it uses our node manager. So this node manager will automatically take care of this username and password in the boot properties file. But if you are going to start your manage server with the help of start manage weblogic.sh script, not from the admin console, then you need to create this file manually. Okay, similar to the admin server, go to domain servers folder, and then inside the manage server folder, for example, you have a folder for manage server 1, which is the name of ms1. Create a folder with the name of security. Inside security folder, create a file boot.properties, then username equal to your username, password equal to your password, and then start your manage server with the help of this particular script. So during first restart, it will automatically encrypt the username and password here. So you need to create this boot.properties file only if you are going to start using this script. If you are going to start using the admin console, then you don't need to create this file manually. Your node manager will automatically take care of that. How many managed servers can be configured in a single domain? So this was a question some time back. I was telling that. I will tell you in the next slide. Okay. So what is a managed server? Managed servers is used where we deploy our applications always. Okay. Now the question, how many managed server we can configure in a single domain? The very first thing, there is no limit. There is no limit, or you can say there is no upper limit. That means you can define n number of managed servers. It can go any 10, 20, 40, 50, 80. You can define any number of managed servers. But only thing is that you have to make sure you have a sufficient hardware resources available, right? Because every server run on the JVM, and every JVM need the heap size, and this heap size is taken from the operating system RAM. And when you are executing the process, the request, this RAM need the CPU as well, right? So that means every JVM means whether it is a admin server JVM or a managed server JVM, is need the hardware resources. Okay, so you cannot blindly configure the managed server. Okay, it is completely depend on your user base, the load in your application, plus how many hardwares are available in your operating system level. Okay, so based on that we define how many managed servers we can create in our particular domain. Okay, so for example, you may have done the performance testing and then you identified that you need at least six managed server for your applications. Okay, and each server may need the 4 GB of RAM, or you can say 4 GB of heap size. So 6 managed servers and each need 4 GB of RAM. So you need 24 GB of RAM at least for the managed servers. On top of that, you have an admin server, you have the node manager, and then you have their OS also running in the system, right? So you need to plan accordingly that how many managed servers I needed, what will the required RAM size for each and every server. Based on that, we can define the total number of servers in our cluster, or you can say in a particular domain. Okay, but there is no limit, there is no capping. Okay, on defining the managed server, it completely depends on your hardware resources. Can a managed server be started if the admin server is unavailable? What is MS1? A managed server, sorry, MSI, managed server independence mode. Okay, so now what we have learned so far, every domain will have one admin server, okay, and then can have multiple managed servers. This admin server has an admin console, which is a central point of contact for all configurations in the domain, right? So now, if suppose that this managed server, admin server is not available, right? So this is a central point of contact. So that means what the number of managed servers that we have in our domain, okay, it always synchronize with the admin server, right? Synchronize means if I am doing any changes from the admin server, admin console, which is deployed in my admin server. So if I do any configuration changes, these changes has to be replicated across all the managed servers, right? Whatever we have inside the domain, every managed server. Okay, so there has to be a synchronization between the admin server and the managed server in a domain always, to make sure that all the current changes are reflecting in the each and every managed servers. Okay, so that means each and every managed server contact the admin server during the startup, or you can say in a reverse order as well. Your admin server contact the managed server when to start it. Okay, for the synchronization. Now, if suppose that this admin server is not available, if this admin server is not available, and you are going to start your managed server, for example, managed server 1. Okay, so this managed server, when you start the managed server, it contact the admin server, okay, to look for the latest configuration changes. If there are any, then it is going to synchronize that. Okay, so now if suppose that you try to start the managed server, that time your admin server was down, it was not running. Okay, still you can able to start your managed server even your admin server is down, and that is called the managed server independent mode. You can start server in the managed server independent mode as well if your admin server is not available, and this feature is enabled by default. Okay, this feature is enabled by default. So if someone is asking you the question that if the admin server is not available, can you start the managed server? The answer is yes, we can start the managed server. We have a managed server independent mode which is enabled by default. So it will if the admin server is not available, then your managed server will start in the MSI mode. Can MSI mode be enabled or disabled? So as I said, yes, it is enabled by default. Okay, but you want to disable it, you can disable it from the admin console as well. Okay, you have a advanced option inside the tuning section of your managed server configurations. Okay, there you can enable or disable this mode as well. What are the different possible states of a server in WebLogic? So when we start or stop any of the server, okay, it goes from the different states. Okay, so let me write first all the states and then I will give you some overview of what are the different states. Okay, the very first thing, start, then standby. Sorry, it is the second state will be starting, 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 then standby. Okay, then admin, and then running, running. Similarly, in case of a shutdown, okay, so there would be suspending, and then there would be a state called shutdown, okay, which is again the same thing. Okay, and there could be other state called which sometime you will see force suspending, force suspending, and then it will go to shutdown. Okay, and there would be another state called failed. Multiple time you will see the server state will be failed, okay, in case of any issues. Okay, and one more, failed, not restartable. Okay, so these are the different state or phases of a server. So these first two, I can say the phase of the server during the startup or shutdown. So when we start any of the server using any of the method, the first state, the server will go in the starting phase. From starting, it will go to a standby state. From standby to it will go to admin state. From admin, it will go to the running state. Okay, so starting is just the beginning phase. Whenever you kick the start command, then it goes to standby state where it do not open the port for any kind of a operations. Okay, this is just for like an hot backup, which is just to transition the state to admin server, sorry, admin mode. Okay, and admin mode is a mode where you can change the state of a server intentionally as well from the console, okay, for any kind of a maintenance. If you're doing any kind of a maintenance and you don't want any user to connect to your applications on the particular managed server, so you can change state to admin, so it will allow only the admin traffic and the other user traffic will not be allowed. Okay, and then from admin the state will convert to the running. So whenever you start your server, you will see these different states in your logs as well, starting or maybe in the console as well. If you refresh the screen, starting, then it will go to standby, then it will go to admin state, and then it will come to the running state. Okay, when you shut down the server, when the server is, suppose that is running the server and you are going to shut down it, okay, so we have two options. So you can stop or you can shut down. You can select the shutdown option or you can select the force shutdown option, this one. The difference only is if you select only the shutdown option, okay, this is a graceful shutdown. So for that, if when you are shutting down your server, there are certain users or sessions are already connected to your particular managed server. So it will wait for all those sessions to be get completed. And once all sessions are completed, then it will do the shutdown, which is called a graceful shutdown. Okay. So the state will be from shutdown, it will go to a suspending state. From suspending state, it will be go in the shutdown state. Okay. Second option is the force suspending, force suspension. So that means if you are force suspending, so the whatever the sessions that has been connected, it will be closed abruptly. It will be killed, and then your server will be shut down immediately without waiting for connections to be get completed. Okay. Now apart from that, you sometime you will see the server state in the failed state or the failed not restartable. Okay. So failed state is again depend on the multiple conditions. Okay. If any of the critical subsystem failed in your WebLogic server. Maybe there are a lot of internal subsystems. There are a lot of internal subsystems for data sources, for JMS, for internal work managers. If any of the critical subsystem get failed, which may hamper the multiple areas in your WebLogic server or near managed servers, then your server state will automatically change to the failed. Maybe your all the threads are get exhausted, okay, and you do not have a sufficient rams and you may get the out of memory error, but apart from that there could be a other adverse effect like where the server state will get changed to failed. Okay, so if your server is get failed, then you need to stop or you need to kill it and you need to restart it again. Okay, if sometime you will see the server state is failed, but in the OS level you will see the process of the server with the help of ps-ef. So you need to kill that and then you need to restart it. Okay. Now, failed not restartable, it is again a kind of a condition. It depends on multiple things. So, if you are seeing that failed not restartable, then the one reason could be your auto start equal to false. So, auto start it is a feature of node manager. Okay, for example, if any server crashed due to any reasons, your node manager automatically restart the particular managed server. Okay, and for that there is a feature called auto start. If that auto restart feature is false, then you may see the failed not restartable kind of a state of your managed server. Okay, or maybe if the maximum restart attempt is exhausted. Now, what is maximum restart? So, as I said, node manager has a feature. It automatically restart any of the managed server if it is crashed due to any reasons. Okay, but it has a certain kind of a limitations. Okay, which depend on the max restart. For example, if I have defined max restart 3 in an interval of 16 minutes, so what will happen if your server is getting crash? Okay, your node manager will automatically attempt to restart, but only thrice in an interval of 60 minutes. Okay, if your still server getting crash after the 3 attempt, it will not try to restart again till the next interval arrived. Okay, so auto restart if it is fault, or maybe the max restart attempt has been achieved but your node manager was not able to start your server, then the state will change to failed not restartable. So these are the certain important phases and different states of your server. Okay, so what is the difference between forced shutdown and graceful shutdown? So as I said, if you are doing the graceful shutdown from the console, then it will stop, it will wait for the connected sessions to complete. Okay, and after that it is going to shut down your server. But forced shutdown will kill all the connected sessions or the running sessions in your managed server and forcefully shut down your managed server. Okay, how we can check or grab the managed server process on the operating system? So it is exactly same what we have seen for the admin server. You can use the ps-ef command, and then with the help of grep-i, and then you can give the name of your managed server. For example, if my managed server name is ms1, so I can specify the managed server name here, and it will give you the process of your particular managed server. Okay, how can a manage or admin server process be killed manually? Again, the same process. If you want to kill -9 and the PID of server. Okay. If you want to kill the admin server, you can check the process ps-ef grep-i, the name of your admin server. Okay. Take the PID. Okay, and run the kill command, kill-9 and then PID. It will kill your admin server. And same process you can use for the manage server as well. But you have to make sure, if you are going to kill your managed server using kill-9 command, as soon as you will give this command, your managed server will restart automatically. Why? Because node manager is there, right, which automatically restart your server. So if you killed the server, your node manager will recognize that okay, this server is killed. Okay, so it will automatically attempt to restart. Okay, and if the default configuration is 3 times, okay, then you may see that you are running kill-9, which is killing the server, and within a couple of seconds your server is again restarting, and that is because of the node manager. So you can kill 3 times and the server will restart 3 times automatically. But if you are going to make a fourth attempt to kill the server, then your node manager will not restart if the default auto restart setting or is 3. How you define a custom heap size for managed servers? This is a very important thing that we most of the time we do. Okay, so when we configure the managed servers, okay, so we define a heap size, right? Because every server is run on the Java virtual machine JVM. Okay, and for JVM we need a heap size. And heap size, what is heap size? This is a portion of the RAM that we reserve from the OS, right? Suppose that we have a 20 GB of RAM in our server, and I'm going to define 4 managed server in my cluster. So I can give 4 GB to each JVM. Okay, managed server 1, managed server 2, 3, 4. I can define 4 GB for each server, right? So this is called the heap size. So now how you define a custom heap size for managed server? For example, I have 4 managed server 1, managed server 2, managed server 3, and managed server 4. If they are part of same cluster where we have deployed the same applications, then definitely we want to have the same heap size or here same kind set of configurations for each server in the cluster. But it could be possible that you have 2 servers which is belong to a different application 1, and then you have managed server 2, managed server 4, which belong to different application like application server 2. So you may need to define the custom heap size for different managed servers. So how we can define the custom heap size? The very first thing, you can do it from the console. Okay, so in the console, WebLogic console, you have the option where you can define the JVM argument for each and every managed servers. Second option is inside the set domain.env, set domain env.sh. This is again a very important environmental file. Okay, let me write the name again, which is set domain env.sh, and the location is inside your domain and bin folder. So here you will have a file. So in this file, you can specify the custom heap size for each and every server. And for that, you need to add a separate section for that. Like if manage server name equal to ms1, then what is the heap size? If manage server 2, oh sorry, the manage server name is ms2, what is the heap size? So by this way, we can define the custom heap size in the set domain env file. Okay, so these are some very important and critical questions and answers with respect to the managed servers, and definitely out of all these questions, the some of the questions you are definitely going to get in your interviews.